First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Hey, team six, team six.
Play action now. Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. They go play action. Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Hey, box truck, box truck.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Devon Kennard. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. On play action, Cousins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Romeo Okwara. He's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here, back-to-back sacks. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Switch. Hey, can't.
3rd and long for Cousins. And he's going to go down again. Romeo Okwara able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions will take over.
Watch the run. They're running it. Sponge. No.
Hey, lock it.
You gonna take
Sponge.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check, Mike 54. Mike 54. Check, 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 check.
Hey, Charlie. Lee Griffin.
Operating from the gun, Eason. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out. So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. We're scoreless after 1.
Watch the safety creep.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Damian Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Prater for the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a 1st down. And opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go, D.
Hey, high 7. Ready?
From the gun, Eason. Jones has it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
You're out.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Going deep for Diggs. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Hey, I'm coming.
Hey, Steeler. 55. Go.
Now Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
I got you, boy.
Play fake. Cousins. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0 from the 34 now. Here's 1st and 10. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins.
Everyone's getting...
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 16. Cousins. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Hey, switch gears. Tight yard.
They begin the drive with Johnson. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
2nd and 9 now. He completes it to Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw. Eason. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Complete to Jones. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Look at me. Go. Be driven.
On 1st and 10, Eason. Caught by Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Shoot. Hustle, hustle.
Operating from the gun, Eason. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and that'll bring up 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
You got nothing today. You got nothing.
Bravo.
Mark 55. Mark 50.
Get it.
To throw again, Eason. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones in the final seconds of the first half. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Rock it.
From the gun, a run for Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. On 3rd down, Cousins going for it all. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Ready to break.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions. but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Rabbit, 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 rabbit.
Here's the 2nd and 7. And this is caught by Curse. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 68 yards.
8-3.
Walk 54, walk 54.
Leo, 5.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Damian Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Trey Flowers able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Hey, Orbit.
Let's put that team on the bus.
Cousins now. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking here for Smith downfield. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Leave it, bring up 48.
40's the Lions. Squeeze.
On 4th down, they do snap it to Cousins. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. He's got a man. Complete. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Will Harris. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Check 50.
Protein spill.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
Gone. Now.
Running from the gun, Johnson. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. Throwing on 1st down. Eason. And this one complete to Smith. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Flushed out right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They're going for it. Here's Madison. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Cousins to throw it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Chad Beebe that time, but it'll be 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Right there in the middle, 55. Watch the pass. Hey, check right.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it with Johnson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Here's Sam Martin now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Take it at the 37. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They go play action. Cousins. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. And, man, Charles, talking about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Now this throw caught left side. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Hockenson, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. They have the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
that's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And a pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Devon Kennard picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. 4th down, Cousins. He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked by Tracy Walker, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Johnson. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
That one looks like he'll throw here. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Check. Look at me. Go.
On first down, Eason. He's got his man. It's Kurz. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hard.
2nd and 2. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Yeah, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Hey, Sam off. Hey, Charlie.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
Check go.
On 4th down, Eason nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them.
Hey, flipper. Gun.
One last shot now for Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. But obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So for Detroit, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.